before again you come out. So now you're there. I think they can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, ask them if they can hear you.
Doko, I can't get you. Are you getting me, doctor?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. YouTube, Zoom people were not hearing me. I suppose YouTube, you did not hear me either. So I'll repeat. Welcome to the Friday seminar with Dr. John Luke Komona on the platform of Amakaya Wing with our great partners, a partnership that is formed on 4 pillars: promotion, education, innovation, and linking, not in any particular order of importance. On this platform, we've been promoting, and we promote businesses, educate businesses, we create innovative ideas, we link into systems that support our business members. If you're not a member yet, I invite you to go to the website of Amakaya Wing and sign up. It's very easy and straightforward, which I will very quickly, for those who are on Zoom, demonstrate where to go on the website of Amakaya Wing. It's very simple and straightforward. All you need to go there is to find www.amakayawingi.org. Once you are there, all you need to do is to request for a service, really. I'll just show you very quickly. It's important to know how to do this. When you go there, you will find this website, and there's where it says services. That is your starting point. Services. Click over services and go to here as if you're applying for a consultancy service, and tell us that you want to be a member. Membership begins with business consultancy, development of your business. That's our main focus. So go on that page and complete that form. Tell us what you want. And for those who want to apply for actual business promotion, development, and linkages into investment, this is the same page you go to and complete that. It does not matter if your business is huge, multi-millions, we want to look at that. It does not matter if your business is smaller, in the thousands of pounds, we want to look at that. Whatever it is, come on board. This is awesome. This is a place of development. We are ever growing. Thank you so much. And also for those who want entrepreneurial development, we have on the Westerners Open College, all you have to do is simple and straightforward. Just have a look at the website, which I'm going to share. And those people on YouTube, click like and sign up, subscribe. Just go on the website of the college. You see where it says course area. The course area is simply here. Once you click on there, you will see courses listed. I'll share it again sometimes. He doesn't share what you're supposed to be sharing, to just help the people get moving. You find that all the courses we offer are there. Because we are on the business seminar, I'd like to encourage people to sign up on the entrepreneurship. This is phenomenal. I can tell you, people testify, when they sign up on this program, they progress very well. And if you think you want muscles, bigger muscles, to go and do a degree, you simply go to the LJ Uni. Yes, there it is, LJ Uni. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Something was in my way. ljuni.co.uk. And there you go. You find the website comes up there, and their main faculties is shown over here. You choose the faculty, and since it's business we are on, I'd like you to go and look at the Faculty of Entrepreneurship. There are many other courses. The Faculty of Entrepreneurship is right here. So under here, we help to grow your business through a degree study. This is important. If it's not for you, recommend somebody. This is life-changing. Okay, let's get moving. Excellent, let's get moving. So today we will be looking at the environment created in Zambia and what hopes there is for people and what can people do. That's what we covered last week. And may I say this, thank you so much to the panels. I got a message from a number of people, but one particular message, this caller said, tell the panel that I was encouraged by the discussion and is thinking seriously of what he can do right there in Zambia on the ground. This man lives in the diaspora and is willing to sign up on the course as a result of a discussion. It was heart-provoking. It was touching. What are you going to do? So the talks that you're having here are not in vain. They are building other people. And this is the reason why we do what we do is to help people be motivated, move forward. And it's very interesting. Now, very quickly, we'll just talk about a small topic, then we start the discussion. We had started looking at different types of businesses and what they are and what they stand for. There's what we call the cash cow, the problem child. We talked about those aspects. Now, today, I want us to start looking at pricing. How do you price? We want to talk about this 5 minutes. How do you make your price? How do you put price on your products or services? Do you use the account approach or the market-led approach? These are very important things for you to know if you're in business. Otherwise, your inventory, which is the stuff that you are selling, either stock or services, may not be priced properly, such that you make a loss. So it's very important. What does it mean, inventory? For example, if I've got 20 cans of Coca-Cola, each of these I bought at the wholesale price of 15 pence. So my stock is my inventory. I've got 10 cans of Coca-Cola or 10 cans of whatever drink or Chiwantu, whatever drink I've made. But when I go out there, I'm not going to sell these things at 15 pence. I'll make a loss. My inventory is at 15 pence. So I need to put a markup. There's two forms of pricing that you can use. Let's look at the accountant method. This is where you calculate a percentage of what it costs you to produce your drinks or to produce your services. Say, for example, 15 pence per drink of Chiwantu. I want to add 25% on top so that the customer will buy my drink at 25% markup. So that's your first markup. Now, what factors are you going to look at in terms of you choosing a percentage to put in there? This is where it's very important. Many people, many entrepreneurs forget about their own time, the time they spend in designing this business or coming up to this product. That time must be factored in. You must be rewarded handsomely. Okay? So with the markup, you must look also at another percentage to add on top. That's called the margin. So two things they're going to put on: the markup, 25%, and also the margin. You can decide. It's up to you how you quantify your time you spent in producing that inventory or that stock or that service. That's very important. If you don't do this, you discover that despite that you're running a business, you don't seem to make any profits, which is why you keep a part-time job going on the side, and yet you've got a very good business which could be making money. Probably the error you have is the way you price. Maybe you are underpricing it because you have not considered these factors. Your time is very important. So today we have looked at the markup and the margin, and that costing is an accountant way of doing things. Next week, we'll look at another tip, another way of putting a price on your product or services. Thank you so much with those tips on business. Now today, I want us to start looking at an aspect of the Zambian environment in doing business, because I'm Zambian and I also do business in Zambia, and I've got my team here also who do business in Zambia. I've got a couple of them right now in the back office. So I'd like them to introduce themselves one after the other in 1 minute, and all these are investors. May I have Grace again? Grace. Now it's your turn. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm muted.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for inviting me on the program.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Grace Mtundastulo. I am a nurse by profession, and I'm currently working as a nurse. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I am an investor as well, investing in Zambia at the moment.
Excellent.
Yeah, in short, yes.
Perfect. You see, we have a great panel here, and I have also Isaac. Will you introduce yourself? And you can put your camera on.
Doc, I'm with the children for a while. Sorry for that.
Okay.
And I'll put on the camera later. Just briefly, I'm Isaac, a Zambian too. Also a person who is very much passionate about the development agenda for Zambia. I am an investor as well. Our current project we are trying to push, it is 3D printing.
3D
Thank
printing.
you.
Excellent. So now we have heard what a beautiful thing that has happened in Zambia. Actually, Zambia is being talked about all over now on the news in the West, in many other forums, especially in our own continent, Africa. Many African countries admiring what's been happening for the past many years of transitioning government. In fact, this one is the third time where a president has been removed from another party. It only happened 3 times. The first one, 1991, the second one, 2011, and this one. So again, God has helped us to see the strength of the incumbent, because that's where the problem moment comes in, is the incumbent. If the incumbent refuses, there's problem. But we saw the strength that there was in a conceding defeat and transfer of servanthood. I think that in itself, we should say Zambia has won twice in this election. The one accepting to hand over and the one coming in. Now, the one coming in is the one I want to talk about, the 7th president of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Last week, we talked about him as a president-elect, but now he's the president. He has got the instrument of power, which he calls servanthood. And last week, we looked at what can you do? And we exhausted that in the time that you are on the platform. What can you do and what are you going to do? And the answers, they're phenomenal. And many of you, or every single person on the platform there, had something that they can do and they are doing, which was very encouraging. And because of that, I can tell you, many people that watch this program they have reorganized their thinking. They are no longer thinking of what can government do for me. They have come to understand that government creates a platform, creates an environment. And from the first words of the president at inauguration and before inauguration, they have reconfirmed that his heart and mind is to create that able environment for everyone to succeed. Now, we want to discuss here with reference to managing the expectation. This is one other parameter that we never completed last week, managing expectation of people. This question links into what a person can do vis-a-vis what they have already. Now, what is expectation? When you say, I will bring free education, many people expect to happen next Friday. They don't realize that resources must be mobilized. When we say, we hear the president say opportunities to do business, to move forward, people expect that to happen on Wednesday. It's just rather like a child in the house when you hear your dad say, oh, I'll buy you this because you've been a very good boy. I remember those days growing up. And I go into my bedroom, I'm just preparing for tomorrow morning, it's going to happen. It never happened that way. And I also remember I bought something beautiful for my daughter when she was just a little girl. Now she's a big woman. She's a big woman. She's a manager, project manager. I said, daughter Faith, here's a lovely dress. You can only wear it on Sunday. It was a Saturday. She said, Daddy, drive fast so you can go home. I want to sleep. And I said, okay. Why? I want it to be Sunday. And that was a wonderful wishful thing. We laughed with my wife. So the child expected to wear that dress on Sunday. For her, Sunday would only come if she goes to bed. I wish Sunday can respond to that. So sometimes a nation is like that. The expectation is so high. They want everything to happen in the same month or the same year. Now, in this panel, I want us to look at how are we going to manage expectation as Zambian entrepreneurs and friends of Zambia entrepreneurs. How are we going to manage expectation? Now, I'd like to invite on the panel, Charity Mwanza, welcome. You can introduce yourself as we enter into this discussion. So the question is, how do we manage expectation? The platform is being created, and now people are ready to see results. Now, from a business perspective, how are we going to manage this expectation? Charity, can you introduce yourself? And we can start on that point.
Okay, my name is Charity Mwanza. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a partner for Grace Situlo. I'm sure you know Grace. So we've got a small business in Zambia with women's building construction. So I'm a nurse by profession, but then we are doing something in Zambia apart from nursing. So I think I won't say much, that's all. And
you're an investor, excellent. So
yes.
Here's a plan. Would you want to come in on that point first, to go first, how we're going to manage expectation of this positive environment the president-elect has announced?
I think we need to give him a bit of time. I think it's too early because I can see even on Facebook, people are writing so many things. Oh, he needs to do this. Others are saying, no, we need to give him time. You know, it's easier said than done. I think when you sit in that chair, that's when you can feel the heat. It's not as easy as it is. So for me, I think I would rather give him a bit of time, maybe a year or two to see, because if I say 6 months is too short a time for him to change everything. So I'll give him about a year and see if there will be any positive outcome. So I think I'm a human being as well. I know how it is, so I can't just say, no, we need things to change immediately. No, I think we have to be human and considerate. I think that's what I can say.
Okay. Let's hear from Isaac.
Thank you for this opportunity. What I was supposed to say first in the first place is that to every business there is a plan, and when you have a plan, you can divide it in short term, middle term, and long term. So if I can remember very well, the president, before even the campaigns started, he said something very, very important. He said that start looking for solutions, people. What are you going to do in the new government? So for me, I am pretty sure that very soon we are going to be seeing changes coming. Yeah, already one of the biggest changes I can rest assure you is that freedom is back to Zambia. People, they can speak freely. That thing was gone, was almost gone. So it's a it's one of the great achievements. You can see media televisions which were closed. They are up again, which is very important for communication. So he is already breaking the ice and doing things. I don't know how true. Someone just sent me a message that the kwacha is now at 13 kwacha per dollar. All these things are changes already because we have the right people. But the most important thing is that let's give him time, and the President HH want to really make sure that he put people who are honest in government, people we can trust with our treasury, people who we can rely on. I was so excited. I'm one of the fans of Dr. Msokotwan for him being appointed finance minister. That really took my heart because I started listening to his project, to his interviews that he has been having, where he talks about the economy, how to manage things. It's so inspiring. You know that you have the right person in the right office. And I'm very, very sure any other person who is going to pray a law, they will be not like what we have seen before in them. So we need to give the president, there's just a lot. If you read the auditor's report, the kind of messy that has been made by the previous government, all those things, they need to be corrected. There's just been waste of money. So we give the UPND and Alliance a chance. They are really people who are intellectuals, who know their job, those who know what they are supposed to do. And I'm convinced that it's just a matter of time. Zambia will not be what it's supposed to be. As I said last time, one of the big things that the minister today, he said it, Zambia has a big chance now to evolve. I'll say just evolve, fly like a rocket, to come up maybe to be a middle income nation. Why? Because we have copper, and copper, every nation right now, especially here in the European Union, we all need this material for our electrical cars. So it is on high demand, same according to cobalt and many others. So I'll leave it for a while there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The same point to Grace.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I think I was one of the happiest Zambian when the results were announced. Mm-hmm. And even today, I listened to his speech in full and watched the inauguration in full, because that day I was working. I was so encouraged, knowing that a platform has been created for Zambians. At the moment, mm-hmm. As my other colleagues have already said, this is the time now for us who have been created an environment also to prepare ourselves, not just looking what is the government going to do. The government has already opened a platform, but also we should prepare ourselves so that in whatever sector you want to be, once the platform now is open, you are ready to go in. You are ready with your resources, you are ready with your skills and everything, because not everything will be done at the same time. There will be some priorities going on. So like some of us who are in let's say we are in entrepreneurship, we are in construction. This is the time now to start preparing ourselves, what we need to be done on the ground in Zambia, because the previous environment was very difficult, even for some of the things. But now we know that doing certain things, it will be easy. So we should start now preparing ourselves. That's what I can say.
Excellent. So picking up, well, let's welcome Mr. Mtonga. Good to see you, Zimba. Mr. Zimba from, Leeds. Excellent. So the points I've heard from you are very, very clear. It seems a big consensus. Let's allow for time. That's very important. In business, things don't just happen like that. And the one key point I've also taken from this discussion is that everything that comes on board comes with a good business plan. So a business plan doesn't just happen all in once. There is a scheduling of events.
Yes.
So to manage expectation in the business community amongst the Zambians in particular, and those friends of Zambians, those who are foreign direct investors, is to work with the time laid out, the priorities laid out. The first priority, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has made, is to appoint his cabinet. And we have seen the appointments coming out. And those who are being appointed as technocrats, some as politicians, will begin to lay out their delivery schedules of whatever they'll be delegated to deliver. And one thing I take as a point from the discussion is here, get ready, be ready in your sector. In fact, mentioning this, to be ready in your sector so that when things are opened up for business at a higher level, you can move in quickly at an opportune time. That is very important. Why it's important is because you will know what to do. If you don't plan, you cannot know when things are moving forward. That point is very, very important to take note. And in fact, even those who are starting to be politicians, because political field is a business in itself. For young aspirant politicians, start to plan now, because what I saw from His Excellency inviting the opposition leaders from different countries was quite good. It's a statement in itself. I saw the Chamisa from Zimbabwe was invited, and others, etc. That creates a place where to say, come on, guys, it is safe to oppose one another positively. So come and see. Now, Mr. Mtonga, we are looking at managing expectation as a business person with a new environment created in Zambia to do business, following on the message of inauguration by His Excellency, Mr. Hichilema. What would you say? How would we manage expectation? The same point to you.
Well, thank you. From the speech itself, basically, I think the president is opening up to say, okay, Zambia is a safer place. Mostly is trying to make it an invitation message to investors, especially to business people. And I'm sure the diaspora, will be engaging with us one of these days. So once he comes over here to come and see us, I'm sure he'll be encouraging us to invest back home. So basically, the platform is laid out. The floor is open for us. Like my sister says, we are already in business, some of us. So all we need is now to go and, lay our plan and say, Your Excellency, or whoever minister is in charge in that area, to say, this is what I've got on the table, and if they will, they accept you, you're welcome. I expect that we'll be welcomed as business people. Everything that we have, as long as you bring a plan, we will be, I'm sure, expected to come and help in every area that we have. So like today, I just saw a note, somebody saying they're inviting the youth in Twickerton and in Dola, I think somewhere, a community training for, skills work. So I thought that's a good idea. So for all the youth, free of charge, no fee paid. That is quite something which, motivating. So I'm expecting to contribute my skills. Being an engineer and a teacher, I'm looking forward to going there with a plan to go and lay my curricula of, like skill you have. Like here, we used to teach apprentices and all those guys. So I would like that kind of this thing in Zambia be introduced, and you as an educator too, you got that, Mr. Lunkomanas, you can implement that in Zambia. So basically, I think the expectation it's so far it's not laid out as clear, but I'm sure whenever we come aboard, you will be able to welcome us, and we expect that Zambia will be open to us than it was last time. Last time it was very hard for you to do business because you needed to pay for whatever move you want to do. So this time, I hope we're gonna have all the floor is open, like I said. So we need to just prepare and go in and help out in every area we are skilled in.
Now, I was expecting. I saw some people on the ground in Zambia. I think they've got challenges to sign in the back house. They've resorted to go on Facebook to listen right on Facebook. I wanted to hear their views right on the ground because I can see all of us here today. We are in the diaspora. I see Stephen, according to login properly there. The internet can be a challenge at times. Now, let us go back to a point where we are looking at free. His Excellency mentioned the free education from grade 1 all the way to university, just like it was under Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. And you, Mr. Mtonga, you're talking about free things, as you've heard, there's a seminar which is coming over there for free. Now, as an entrepreneur, now I'd like this Mr. Isaac to come in. As an entrepreneur, there is nothing that goes for free. Otherwise, you'll be out of pocket. Are you going to run a business?
Yeah.
So that's a big question. The culture where we start from, I think we need to categorize when we begin to say free. What do we mean?
Yeah.
Because when the service is coming on the platform for the first time, I've seen some multinationals, what they do. They make some freebies. And as you're passing by, they're giving you. And those freebies, they only last for probably 1 month because they are so large, they can afford to do that. After that, it's only that when we're talking about margins and markups, we're not in the program. I can still repeat it. After that, when the real stuff comes in, they'll factor in the price to recover the freebies. Now, the expectation in Zambia, how are we going to change our mindset? Because I like where Zambia is now in terms of people thinking to do a business here, they're hustling here, they're hustling. So that hustling can be now galvanized in a very positive environment where every business, every entrepreneur can now succeed because even the policymakers, they are actually supportive of that. Now, if I can have Isaac, the investor Isaac in Germany, how do we quantify and change the mindset of free things? How do we quantify the freedom, free things coming there?
Thank you so much. First of all, our education is not a product, it is a service. And services, in most cases, they are compensated from other areas. I would just equate it just like health. So education is very important, just the way health is very important. Because if you have an educated society, that means there is a different understanding of things. Simple things like just throwing things on the street, they become done away because when you do that, you cause maybe a disease which can kill people, just to give an example. So what I'm trying to say is that free education is going to be possible in Zambia because we have other sectors which are going to generate funds for that. And that money has to be pumped in human resources, which are more needed than ever. We need the human resources. We need people to be trained. We have actually already some trained people who are not in employment, but that's not a big issue. We should also be looking of not just tomorrow, but even generations to come. You know, an educated society is always at an advantage in doing things. It's very easy because everyone will understand when you say this. If people were educated, for me, we will not have cadreism in Zambia, but there is just a lack of education. Someone came up with that idea and they were getting money, which was supposed to be going into institutions where the whole nation is going to be supported. So I'm very, very convinced that this government will come up with a concept. I don't know how they are going to do it, but education is going to be free. It is possible. Most of you grew up in the Kaunda era. I'm coming from there. I remember the first time my father, I still remember that when he took me in grade 1, they paid 1 kwacha, just 1 kwacha. Yes. And I don't remember paying anything, books and everything, all the way to grade 7. And when I wrote my grade 7 exams, it was my sister who paid for me a 5 kwacha. I can still remember all those things. So I went to a secondary school, a boarding school, and the fees were affordable for the family to take a child to school. And because the environment was okay, I'm a farmer, I'm coming from a farming family, we could produce, and the money we get could be reinvested in different ways. Buy implements again, take children to school again. So it is possible. Let's just give this government just a bit of time so that they can come up with a very good concrete concept that is going to cover everyone. And I know, I'm very, very sure, because I am living here in Germany, such a thing is not impossible. It's possible. That's how they live. Education, I would say, is more or less free, because when you look at someone who is in university, maybe they will just ask you to pay 150 euros per term. That is nothing compared to if they were to tell you to pay maybe 800 or 1,000, how much. So the opportunity is there. Either we can copy a concept that is already existing, or we can easily come with our own. As I said, I don't know if I've mentioned this. Mr. Mtonga said something which is very interesting. He said he's ready to give free education. So that's what we want, to rebuild back, to pay back to what we get. Those who are already financial secure, they can help other sectors to move up as well. And once that happens, you see that the buying power increases in other areas, and that adds on again to the economy. And then we come up with different main ideas which we can implement. For myself, for example, with this Zoom thing, I hope I can teach people from here. I studied business administration, but my focus was more on information technology. So, and that's where I've been working all this time. So it's very easy. I don't need if I was to ask you for anything for a student to learn something from here, maybe what I can ask, it's not a 10 euro, just to make sure that my children, they go and eat ice. So I think there is a concept coming, and I'm convinced that it will be something that Zambians will cherish. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Grace, simple.
Just as Isaac has mentioned, free education is possible in Zambia, very much possible. I used to work for ZCCM, and you know ZCCM was a private company, money-making company. So for us who were under medical and under education, we were non-profitable departments. We were depending on the departments which were making money, like smelter, refinery, and all those. And even when it came to having bonus, because those were reaching the targets, they were given higher percentages. But as we're getting like a lower, maybe you get like 15% of the bonus, because we're being told you are non-profitable departments. So it's education, free education is very much affordable. There will be other departments like tourism, agriculture, and other sectors, which will be bringing more money, which will be even more enough for that sector, which can be pumped into health and education. Because those days, even health was free. We were not paying anything to go to the hospital. So even now, if there's anything a human being needs, is free education and free medical services. And when it comes to pay, those days we used to pay what was called the PTA. I'm sure it is still there. That one can continue just to sustain the schools. But despite now schools are paying from grade 1, I think they are paying something, but despite what they are paying, they are not even able to sustain themselves. So sometimes you ask yourself, why are we paying then as parents? And where are the grants from the government? What are they doing? So it's just a system we need to manage our resources. We'll be fine.
Thank you. Same point to Charity.
Yeah, I think as mentioned by Tonga and Isaac and Grace, education can be managed. I had free education from grade 1 up to grade 12. And I remember even the nursing, I never paid a single ngwe when I did my nursing. But the government managed to retain their money by having this system of, you know, when you finish your training, you have to work for the government for 2 years before you can leave or before you can go anywhere. So it was a way of paying back the government for what they had done to me. So this other system, I think it can work like that if they can adopt such a system whereby they give free education to the people, and then at the end of their training, they are bound with all this system to say you have to work for this amount of years before you can leave. It will be a good way of also, you know, making people have free education. Then I can talk about the farmers, for example. There was a time when we had cooperatives. I don't know if any one of you can remember the cooperatives.
Yes.
Yeah.
People were getting full fertilizer was free, the seed was free. But when people get the yield after they've got all the crops, then they sell them. They were paying a certain percentage to the government. And that's how the government was getting the money. But it was a way of encouraging people to do farming. I remember my dad bought me, when I was graduating, my father bought me a 3-plate stove from the money he raised through the cooperatives. They had even the accounts through the cooperatives. So if we can invest into education, health, and farming, I think it will be better. It will be okay.
Picking up from the conversations here, I'll just I highlight one point. Charity, as mentioned there, you were kept to work for 2 years, and I just want to pose a positive question there, so that you pay back into the system for what you obtained for free. Wouldn't that be viewed in the modern times as not free? You're bound, you're in bondage to pay back later on, although you worked for free. You were educated for free, you didn't pay a thing, but the 2 years in future is waiting for you. If another opportunity appeared somewhere else, legally you can't leave because you're bound by the system. We gave you a free education, you pay back in these 2 years. The other job which you were supposed to go and get outside the country, you can't go. So food for thought, think about that. And in terms of other rights, is it a loan that is not payable until you start working? Like in the United Kingdom, they give you all the money. You never pay back that money until you start working. Then they begin to take out from the salary. I want to look at models that can work for Zambia. And also, in one of the points that was raised in the panel was systems that are outside other sectors can pay for education. And now this is the term they call corporate social responsibility. Every commercial company, for example, foreign investors, one of the things that they are asked by the host countries are what will be your corporate social responsibility. Meaning, when you make, say, $1 billion profit in mining in our country, we want a certain percentage, normally around 10% or so, or as is agreed, just like those who go to church, the Christians who understand the tithing system. What the tithing system was all about was to help the poor. Those who are in sectors that can bring good money, they must bring 10%, so that Levi, who was a priest to work in the house, can have food, and the orphans can have food, those people who are disadvantaged. That's the same concept. So it's corporate social responsibility. So if we say this can be introduced within Zambia, amongst the Zambian corporations, Zambian businesses, if you reach a certain level of profit, you must have in your system a corporate social responsibility to donate part of your profits to the education system of Zambia. Mind you, fellow entrepreneurs and investors, every single thing that we do on earth is business. There's a transaction. Where you see a teacher teaching in front of a class, he is generating income. Somebody must pay him because he has a family. Where you see chalk or whiteboard, white paper coming in the classroom, somebody has produced that. It has come at a cost. So it is that cost we have to manage to be able to implement free education. Under Kenneth Kaunda, there was a different system where it was humanism we are on. And some of the staff were heavily subsidized, government subsidized. They got money from somewhere and they put money into the system. So these are the things we have to look at as we go into this new environment. One of the members on the panel did mention how we can now subscribe our services. Now, this is coming from an area of charitable contributions in kind. In the United Kingdom, there's what we call contribution in kind. Whereas I've got £100,000, I want to donate to a charity, but I don't have it in cash, but I have it in skills. Whereas they could have employed somebody who is a project manager and pay £90,000, but I come and volunteer my services. That is quantified. So that model, we need to look at it in Zambia. As His Excellency begin to talk about free education, we need to leverage that. Because the truth of the matter, if we don't leverage that, at some point, whoever is giving us money, even through corporate social responsibility, is going to dry up because business is unpredictable. Sometimes you make so much profit, sometimes it's nothing.
Nothing at all,
like today, in my new shop, I didn't do much. And I say, glory to God, hallelujah. Although I was thankful to God, money did not come in. I still have to pay the bill for that rent. So as we support His Excellence with positive environment, let's all think of models. The next question is, Facebook's audience, sorry about this, you cannot see the faces of people talking, but you can hear the voices. We are now sharing the screen on YouTube. If you want to see their faces, go on YouTube. It's an education channel. Just type John Lukomona or Mr. His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema. It will come up. One of us will come up there and subscribe. So next time, try to subscribe to YouTube so that you can see the faces, but the voices are so clear. Now we're going to tackle the last point. This is very educative. I can tell you.
Excuse me, Doctor. Maybe before we go to the last point.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, as you said, the services to render. I think that one we have already started with. Charity, you can talk more about it. You know, the words which have been adopted by Zanuko.
Oh, yeah. We've got, I hope we have got a bit of time. I'll just talk about it briefly. We have this Association of Zambian Nurses UK, whereby we have adopted a ward in Ndola, and it's a ward that deals with the renal part, the renal ward. Okay, so we want to adopt that ward so that we can put most of the things there, even the nurses, equipment, so that we can contribute, take our skills from here back home. So some nurses who are working here can actually, maybe when they are on holiday, they go there to Zambia, they volunteer to work there. They share the skills with the people who are there. So they render the skills that they've acquired there. So we are trying to do some fundraising, but the COVID hit us so hard. But we had this fundraising venture which happened last week, which was online, and we raised a bit of money, but that is towards the COVID. So this is in our plan. We've already got a model which we have already planned. All what we need is just now, you know, when this COVID finishes, we get into fundraising, raise some money, then we contribute also to Zambian. Once we've done that, we actually want to do it at Ndola, Kitwe, and Lusaka, the 3 hospitals. But we want to start with Ndola first. So we've got a model which has already been laid out. Thanks, Grace, for saying that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that point. After this show, we'll come to some showcases of the positive things that are already in existence so that they can be leveraged. That's very, very important. And we need to respond very well. That's the point one of the panel members said, when we will be received. And I think we will be received. And what it means to be received, just to make a clarification to the listeners, it means the policy accepts. There is a provision for the policy to accept and facilitate such a thing. For example, adoption of words, as an example, has been given. If this is in the policy that we allow adoption of awards in hospitals by our diaspora nurses or doctors, and the provision says A, B, C, D, and this is what government can do for you when this is official. There's a difference between a private initiative and something that's a government policy. Private initiative, you can just do it, and yes, it's well done. But if it's a government policy, there's more meat to that, because these institutions have power to simply say, this model which is working in Ndola, let it also be in every district.
Yeah.
That's the power of systems. So the point raised on this panel, to you listeners, understand our point of view is facilitating and understanding how things work.
Yes, yeah.
Now, we've got only 5 minutes. Let's open up this question. We'll finish it next time. So now, we want to make it clear to ourselves what we mean. I've just alluded to that point, to be received. And what I want us to take away from this platform as we go through this series, while the cake is nice and sweet, because if the cake stays too long, nice and sweet. Yeah.
It's got all the icing on top.
Indeed, indeed. Yes. What does it mean to be received? It does not mean that in the past we were not received in Zambia. No, we were received in Zambia. You understand? Which is why every single one of us on the platform were doing something, have done something to this level. I want us to understand very clear so that we do not negate that which has been built already. We seek to build on top and better, because a better environment has come, which is why there's elections. We vote somebody in or out based on the better promises. So better promises have come. How are we going to build on top of what we've already built? When we say we will be received better, what does it mean? Okay, and I want to hear from the audience, what does it mean that we will be received better? One of the panelists alluded to the fact that if you wanted to get something, you had to bribe somebody, this year, there, do that, etc., etc. So I want us to quantify these things so that when we begin to move, remember, on Amakaya Wingi, we are a platform that does, and we do, and do, and do, and actualize. And by God's grace, we've been doing that. So we want, after these conversations, that yes, last week we had outcomes. Some people have called. They say they are going to do A, B, C, D because they had the positive conversations. Now, the same point now goes to, we start with the charity. What do you mean by being received? How would you like to be received in Zambia in this phase? 1 minute.
I think I would like the government to be flexible. For example, if I want to get a loan to let me give an example of what we've done with Grace. When we got we made a plan for our business where we wanted to do the construction, and we sent a plan to the council in Mufulira. And I tell you, up to today, we've never gone ahead with that, because they said they were going to respond to us and they never responded back again. So it's all because of there was nobody to facilitate that. As you are saying, I'm sorry to say, you needed to know somebody to push it there. But we had nobody. As a result, our plan, we still have it, and even them, the council in Mufulira, they have it. So if the government can listen to us in the diaspora, if they can listen to us, we can take investment back home. For example, if I want to get a loan to do my project in Zambia, they should allow me to do that. Then I can be paying from what I'm earning from here. So we should be received just like the way they are helping the other Zambians who are there. I think that's what I can say.
The same point to Matthew.
Yeah, I think it's, like I said, it's the environment that is there now. It enables us.
Now, how would you like to be received?
I mean, basically the government will accept us, I'm sure, through there's no more restrictions like we had before.
How would you like, how?
Well, to be open to our, ideas, and for us, the diaspora to be accepted, because last time I went, it's like they're looking at you like a foreigner and not to be accepted.
Yeah.
I want to be free to come back home and say, okay, I can do this. Okay, I've got an idea. This idea, I laid down to the minister. The minister could. I went and saw a minister of mine, who was a friend of mine during early PF, during SATA. And I laid down the plan to him. I said, this is what I'm thinking. Yes, as a diaspora, we can help you guys by us going out to these symposiums and having to see who are the customers who are buying copper and all this. We can be able to negotiate with them and get the business on behalf of the country. I laid down to him and he said, oh yeah, we'll think about it. I'll
exactly.
See. But he never came back to me, and he even got moved from the post. So these are the things that we want the government to see, that we have an idea.
Okay.
We have experience.
Thank you. Grace, the same point. Thank you. Our time is nearly over. We could see only Grace. Grace?
Yes,
1 minute.
Yes, as Charity alluded earlier on, what I would like to see is the facilitators, if they can receive us and listen to us, because most of us, they see us as people who have run away from our countries. We didn't run away. We just came here to work. Some of us came here for education, but they look at us as if you have run away from Zambia. So when we are putting out there our ideas, they won't even listen to you. If they will listen to you, they say, okay. They won't even take it ahead. So if the facilitators will be able to listen to us and then channel us where we are supposed to go, show us which offices we are supposed to go, tell us what we are supposed to do before we move a step forward. Not what like happened to us. We were told, you do ABC, and we did each and every move we told to do. But up to now, we don't have an answer, and we don't know even where to start from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isaac, thank you so much. Isaac, your last point on that note. How would you like to be received? You've got a minute. Okay, yes, I think Isaac has got to go, the child there. Okay, fantastic. So let's summarize. From this point of view, I think my take is, let us listen to one another. It will be a question of knowledge exchange. The diaspora and the mainland. The diaspora must go in terms of business, the mainland must come in terms of business is negotiation. You don't always want to accept instructions of a friend in business. It's a bargain. Come to the table, you are equal partners. Nobody is superior, nobody is inferior. We are all equal partners. If something clicks, we can do business together. If it doesn't click, we say this one maybe go the other way because it's not workable here. If we have that attitude, both parties will find that they can forge a way forward. The diaspora must never think because you have traveled abroad, you have got things that they should accept on the ground. It doesn't work that way. The people on the ground, because the diaspora have traveled, you think they've got all the money. Doesn't work that way. Both parties have something to bring to the table. For example, those on the ground in the mainland, you've been there for a long time. Since we left, you understand how things work. We need to learn from you. We want to hear from you how things work. Help us. And for those who are abroad, the mainland must also say, guys, what have you learned outside there? Can we tap into that and let's meet halfway and make this project work, both at private level and government level. When we have such an attitude, we can do greater things. The possible environment has been declared by the president. And I believe from this platform and those who are listening to this program, something positive will come out. And I want to thank Kasonde. It is a young man in Manchester, is watching. These are the young man, the future of Zambia. Well done, Kasonde, for watching the program. Tell your fellow age mates to be joining this program. And I've got Stephen Musonda, a young man is based in Zambia, was on the program. These are young people we want to be participating in this program so that they can lead the nation of Zambia and wherever they are in this world properly. Thank you so much, panel, for your wisdom. And we'll continue next week by God's grace. Keep it up, keep on moving forward, and we see each other. Signing off, but still present online. And those who are on YouTube, please click like and subscribe. Those on Facebook, share to as many friends. When you share programs, people learn. As you share, people are learning and climbing up the ladder. It's because of you. Thank you so much.